Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. So this is the Small Business Tech Talk, and we discuss various different topics here today or ongoing. So that helps us small business owners basically learn and talk about things that will help each other succeed in business. And so I started this with the idea that we can help each other basically talk about various different topics, from marketing to websites, and really anything that comes up in business that will help us kind of move forward. So the thing that I want to focus on here is not to sell to each other like stuff that we're trying to sell, but just to kind of help each other see, like, these are the things that was working for me, or these are the things that I learned this week, and things like that that other people can take away and use in their own business. We will be recording these sessions, so they'll be available for us to review and replay later. For anyone else that joins the group later on, they can also kind of come back and review them if they would like. So yes, thank you so much for being on video, some of you guys. I really appreciate that. And if you can't be on video, that's okay, but it always helps to see smiling faces, and it's more encouragement for me. So yes, we would love to get more topic ideas and help us grow this group further. So there are more people joining and helping each other sort of succeed. So that would be great. And so for today, our topic is marketing to get more leads. So we will basically have a little bit of a round table to see what each other are doing. I'll kind of start off and say the things that I'm doing, and maybe some of you guys are not doing it already, or maybe need some help on some of the things that I do or someone else does. So that'd be exciting. I know that we have a couple new folks here. So why don't we just go around for a minute and just introduce each other, saying what we do. So Casey, I'll let you get started.
Okay, I'll start. So I'm in the middle of a transition. I've been a triathlon coach for 8 years, and specifically focusing on swimming. So, and now I'm switching over almost completely to digital marketing. COVID's been a really good reason to switch. I was ramping down anyway, so this is kind of like abrupt stop. Just go ahead and finish. And I just finished a huge training this week for digital marketing, so I'm excited to get that up and running. So yeah, I would say I don't make websites, but I've built a Shopify site. I'm not a designer, but I'm learning to be a better copywriter, and the idea of building sales funnels, so kind of what Mo was talking about today, is a big interest of mine.
Yeah, great. For anyone else that isn't familiar, Casey just did a program with StoryBrand, which I really like that program quite a bit. And it's very exciting to kind of have someone in the group that is going through that. So we can't wait to hear some of your experience from there. And you can tell us how bad our copywriting is on our website.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, mine was some of the worst in the group. There were some very impressive writers in my little group of 11. So it was a neat week.
That's cool. All right, Renee, you're next on my list. How's it going?
Pretty good. Thank you for inviting me. And I have I teach a type of yoga that I would really put in a category of sustainable physical therapy. It's not something you just come to and enjoy and then go. If you really commit, you'll see real changes in your body and get out of chronic pain. So I used to be in the technology world, and part of why I came to this yoga was that, yay, I get to be out of the technology world. And then COVID happened, and it was like, ah! And so
back into technology.
Now I'm back after 10 years, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, what is this digital marketing? I need to know all about it. What? So yeah, that's what I'm all about.
Feel your pain.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you're here. That's awesome. Anil, you're next on my list.
Good morning to all. I'm Anil. I'm the founder of BHA Consulting. It's a management consulting firm, and I work with small, medium, and large organizations and help them refine or build a business strategy, business operations, and business processes that lead to growth and sustainability. So that's what I do.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Anil. Asif, do you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Yeah, sure. I'm Ashif. I am a good friend of Mo's, and he's invited me for a couple weeks now just to be on here and just to listen in on what um, these talks are about. So I've just been in listening, taking notes, and
Yep.
stuff like that. Also been helping him out with his website a little bit, writing on the blogs, just that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being here. Asif is, I'm realizing that I'm getting overwhelmed by all the things I have to do. So I'm asking Ashif to help me out on some things, which is exciting.
That's
So
good.
thank you so much for joining us. All right. So I'm Mo. I think we all know each other, but I'm Mo. I'm the founder of Data Up. We focus on various different things around technology, including a fractional CTO, doing website work for anyone that needs, particularly focused on WordPress, but I have experience in other areas as well. And also focusing on business digital analytics, which is one of my favorite things to do, look at numbers. So I always like doing that. So this types of stuff, marketing, all kinds of stuff, I'm sort of learning as I go along. I know I've done a lot of that in the past, but it's stuff that I'm learning with you guys, and I have some close friends who have marketing businesses, so I always consult with them, and like the stuff that I'm learning, obviously I'm happy to share with you guys as well. So I will get started in this session today, so then it'll kind of give us a way to get around and see what everyone else is doing. So in my business that I started 6 months ago, I kind of went in various areas to try to see what works and what doesn't work, because like I said, I'm not an expert in marketing. It's one of those things that I've been trying to see, okay, well, this may be something that works, this is something that doesn't work. So it's been a bit of a trial and error, which one of my business coaches, which Renee is familiar with, she also has a Dr. Hartley, his main two words that I hear probably more often than anything else is test and measure. So it's one of those things that there are hundreds of ways to market your business, but at the end of the day, if you don't know which one works better, you're not going to know what to do effectively. So the idea is that if you're trying Google Ads, for example, like I did, and it didn't work so well, I tested it, and it's like, okay, it's not working so well. So let me stop this for a minute and then see what I can improve on, and then try again. And so if I do that for 6 months and it's not working, there's maybe Google Ads isn't for me, right? So that's the kind of the idea. So Google Ads is something that I tried, and in digital marketing, it's pretty important to do things like Google Ads, Facebook ads, even now LinkedIn ads is an option. So it really depends on the clientele, from what I've learned over the last few months, in terms of the ideal clients. For example, my ideal clients are small business owners that are in the growth phase, where they're kind of in the 10 to 100 employee. They're just growing from the 10 to 100 employee range. And so for me, it's important to be in front of those kinds of people and get their buy-in. The issue with Google Ads, though, is anyone that's searching for things like website optimization is going to obviously get to your website if they click on that ad. So it's one of those things that I've learned is, okay, so even though there's going to be a lot of people coming through to my website from sort of a random click, right? The point is to make the website as easy to understand. And then also the ads that I created has to be a little more clear from what I learned. So for example, like just website optimization is people thinking, oh, that might be for me. But if what I will do is I will make it more specific to the small business owners that I'm looking for. So like website optimization for market or e-commerce and retail websites within this range or something like that. That kind of gets someone to say, oh, well, that's not me, so I'm not going to click on it, that kind of thing. I am heavily doing network marketing. So I go through to a lot of networking groups, and I'm involved in various different things there. So for example, I am part of a networking group called The Buzz in Austin, which is really, really big. And so there are folks that, have a lot of different businesses, and also obviously their friends and, whoever they might know, acquaintances, are the ones that often I chat with to kind of get to know them, which is great. I have chatted with some BNI folks, which it didn't really work out for me specifically because of the restrictions, but it'd be something I'd be interested in the future. And I just recently joined the Austin Technology Council, ATC, which if anyone has a big sort of technology group that they would like to work with, that would be a pretty good place to start as well. They do introductions and things like that. That's pretty cool. So I just joined them. I'm not very familiar with them yet, but I'm excited to be part of that and learn more about what's going on there. So
how has the buzz worked out for you? Do you find you're meeting the right types of people, or?
Yeah, it depends, you know. So the buzz is consisted of a lot of sort of very small business types of people. So they're mostly like, I would say 1 to 5 type employee kind of range. And so it's a smaller set of people. But I do know that there are a lot of bigger sort of businesses that are part of the buzz. They're obviously very busy, so they don't often join in. So it's one of those things that the people that are there, they know those other people that are in the buzz. So it's mostly just, you know, any sort of old school networking. You just got to talk to people and meet them, and they'll introduce you to the other folks that don't come in as often. But then, you know, like from time to time, you'll definitely see them coming in. And the thing that I like about the buzz is that there are a lot of people that are joining on a regular basis, because people are always inviting new people. So it's quite good from that perspective. So those are some of the things that I'm doing. I don't specifically focus on Facebook ads. I do reach out to people on LinkedIn myself. That's depends on who I'm reaching out to. That works pretty okay from time to time. So those are all the things that I do. So I'd be curious to hear what you guys do as well in your businesses too.
Hey, Mo, I had a question. So what kind of industries that are people from in the buzz group?
Yeah, oh man, it's all over the place. The buzz is consisted of, I think now there's 1,600 people or business owners rather, in Austin. So you can imagine just like so many different types of people from really any industry. It's not really heavy on anything, I would say. The ones that I do see a lot of are the sort of home improvement type of people, because the founder was like a custom home builder before. So he obviously just knows a lot of those people, and they bring a lot of those people. But there's anywhere between, like, there are people like me, for example, doing web design type of work. There are a lot of people that are doing marketing, social media kind of work. They're definitely in and out of like technology groups and stuff like that. They're definitely part of it. So there's a lot of different people in the buzz. Yeah.
Okay.
If you guys are interested, I can invite you to one of the meetings. There's one on every Tuesday. That's a pretty big one. So if you just want to come in and see what
because they're throughout the week, right? They're kind of all over. Yeah.
Yeah, the main one is in it used to be, location-wise, it used to be the south of downtown location, which is like, it used to be like 50 people, and I'm going nowhere close to 50 people right now, obviously, but they're all on Zoom right now. So if you want to sort of listen in and see if that's for you or not, that, you know, I can invite you guys. Just shoot me an email or text. I'll put you together in touch.
And you've done talks for this SCORE.
Oh yeah,
group.
sorry, I forgot to mention that.
Have you got leads from that?
Yes, I have actually. So they're not my ideal clients per se, because there are a lot of businesses that are starting out right now, which is not really what I'm looking for particularly. I'm looking for clients that are been in business for at least 2-3 years, and they're sort of on the growth phase. So so that's not the most ideal, but there have definitely been conversations back and forth between folks that are kind of in the group, and, you know, they just listen in and stuff like that. But I mean, I do the SCORE thing not really as a marketing. It was mostly just advertising kind of thing, to let people know, hey, I'm the expert in analytics and web design, and so, you know, come talk to me kind of things. More just helping people out kind of idea for me. So I don't know, it's kind of interesting there that if I don't get any leads there, I'm not disappointed by it.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so who wants to share?
Well, ironically, I'm the new marketer, and I haven't really done much for myself. For swimming, I think it was a lot of word of mouth. You know, I was one of the only people doing it, so that helped a lot. So I think if you're unique and you get into a certain group, that really needs you, then the word spreads. So like the triathletes in town are all very close. So if somebody needs help with swimming, if they talk to enough people, they would hear about me. And so I never had to put a lot of money in it. It was just a matter of being seen on social media, at races, things like that. So that worked really well. I did join that bong group, but man, there's nobody swimming down there. So I just kind of learned how to network, but I didn't really I didn't really get any leads. I've recently had a kind of an interesting experience with a client. He used to sell DVDs of like videos of old airplanes, like vintage airliners. And he switched to a more of an online streaming model when DVDs went out the window. And he's been trying to generate traffic by having this YouTube channel where he'll post like the first 3 minutes of a 30-minute video, and then hope that people will want to sign up. And, you know, I think what he learned was 2 years in, there just wasn't really any traffic that was making it over. And so actually being really telling people what to do has helped. So now his video descriptions say, here are the things you can do. If you liked this video, here are 6 things you can do. And one of them is sign up for our free trial to watch longer videos. And so that has its own landing page. It goes to an email automation, and that is starting to work. And I'm hoping to see that he's going to get more people actually signing up for the paid service now that more of them are getting into that trial. So I think just making it clear what you want people to do and giving them a path to follow sometimes can really make a big difference. Yeah.
That's great. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you do from a marketing perspective?
Yeah, I mean, I think with the goggle company I'm working with, he's also very small with very limited budget, so he's not doing any paid ads. So there again, it's kind of more word of mouth. And so one of the ways we boosted that was to ask people who like the goggles, hey, what team are you on? Can we sponsor you? And so we picked up 8 teams, and that happened right before COVID. And so in April, the only orders we had were from the teams that we sponsored. And so that kept us from being at 0. It was really good timing.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. Renee, do you want to share what's going on with you?
Sure. I have been working with someone who's been doing some LinkedIn type work for me, reaching out to HR directors, and I've gotten some leads on that one, and I'm putting together some marketing materials to work with that. And I'm still working to get clear on a business strategy for this product in general that comes from Brazil. It's very new. And so I've been brainstorming myself, because there are studios who teach this work, and there are lots of teachers that teach the work, and we have the creator who has an online program, and I've just found that it's been interesting to try to combine all of it, because there's this, you know, the creator, we want him as a value add, but then how does that work business wise? You know, if I'm going to be selling it, if a studio is going to be selling it. So I think we're all trying to figure out how to scale it well. And what you were talking about, Casey, about keeping people engaged, what I've found as I've been pushing on selling this work, and I've been talking to people who've been doing it, it has become clear that I really do need to speak more. Here's what you need to be doing. You're not actually quite clear. It's more that it's like teaching. You're not really clear on what this product is about, because you're, you know, going to all these different yoga classes. If you're really serious about this, you need to be doing this. So it is, I'm thinking more, at least that's what's come out of me to try to sell this, you know.
Yeah, I mean, what I learned this week is that you need to solve a problem.
Yeah.
And so if you really dig into that problem and make them really feel it and they understand that you're the solution, maybe that will help them want to strip away all that other extra yoga that they're doing and focus more on how you're going to help them.
Yeah. Because before I was feeling fairly passive about how I was presenting, like, oh, I don't want to be too salesy, but now it's like, okay, you know what? Just
Yeah.
throwing it all out the window.
Yeah.
Be all salesy.
I know, I'm like all about it now.
Hey man, live into your you can be the Yoda yogi. you're guiding them. Tell them what to do.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. Okay, thank you very much, Renee. Anil, do you want to share with us what you're doing?
Absolutely. So I'm going back to basics. So when I say that, the reason that I'm saying that I'm going back to basic is because this question of late is bothering me a lot in terms of why am I not able to get leads? Why are the conversion rates so poor?
Mm-hmm.
And this has been on my mind for a couple of weeks, and that's the reason that I've taken a pause. I'm taking a step back and looking at where am I in terms of my marketing strategies.
Okay.
So what I'm really focusing now is looking at what I've done till now in terms of promoting my products and services within the market. So I did find that, yes, there are gaps that need to be fixed. And so I'm starting from the basic in terms of doing a research, completely doing a research again on the market demand, whether it's competitors, whether it is about the technology that people are using, what are the social trends in terms of the market demand for my services.
Okay.
On the other hand, I'm also focusing very much on what is the customer looking for in the first place. I mean, we have started our business, but do we really, really know that what is the customer looking for? And as Casey, you rightly said that, what are the pain points? What am I trying to solve?
Mm-hmm.
Why would a customer actually choose me in the first
And maybe
place?
why is it different right now
Yeah,
versus this
exactly.
time last year?
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
And that's the thing that I'm really focusing on spending my time is to look at what I need to do at this point in terms of making my services much more prominent, and that will solve the customer problems. So, for example, so I've completed a market research. I was very curious to know as to what is the market demand for a consulting business or management consulting business globally in the first place? How does it look in the future? So for me, operations consulting or strategic consulting is a big market globally. For example, operations consulting business is a $71 billion industry global wide. A strategic consulting business is a $30 billion business global wide. So there is a lot of demand. There's a lot of scope for you in the future when you're actually expanding your business. So that gives me a positive insight. Yes, there is a need. There is a demand that people are looking for these kind of services. Right. So that gives me a positive insight as to, yes, I'm in the right direction. Now I'm looking at as to what exactly is the customers looking for when it comes to the pain areas, when you talk about operations consulting or when you're talking about strategy consulting. And one of the things that I'm still in the process, but one of the things that I really, really understood is that when it comes to operations, people don't have the knowledge in terms of how important is operation for their overall business when it comes to the overall delivery of their products and services.
Yeah.
It's like a central processing unit for your business. All the activities are done through the operations management process. So people fail to understand that. People fail to focus on this area as one of the core areas. And as Renee, as you rightly said, that there's a lot of focus on people really trying to push their products and services into the market from a selling point of view. I need to sell, I need to sell, I need to sell. But the challenge that is happening as of today is even if they get the deal or even if they get the clients, when it comes to implementation, they fail. When it comes to execution, they fail. And that's the biggest challenge that I see, that when it comes to your brand value, when it comes to building a trusted relationship with your customer, a lot of people fail.
Yeah, true.
And so that's really that I'm focusing on in terms of understanding your customers clearly in terms of what is the problem, what are they looking for, what is the demand,
Yeah.
and then creating a strategy for your product and services, and then move ahead. And then you can use different tools and technologies to elevate your performance or elevate your awareness of product and services in the right marketing strategy, using the right marketing strategy.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they may be looking for a specific benefit and they don't know that your feature is the one that can give them that benefit.
exactly. I mean,
You
there's so
know,
much.
if they want profitability, they may not be thinking about it as operations.
Yeah, it's the question of value. What is the value that the customer are going to benefit?
Yeah.
I mean, those are the things that we need to answer for our business, our products and services, before jumping on to using different tools and techniques, tools that is available in the market for promoting your products and services. It's very important for us to understand why the customer will buy from you in the first place. So looking at your marketing demand, doing a marketing research for your product and services, understanding the customer needs and pain areas and problems is very important and very basic that we all need to understand to promote
Yeah,
your products and
absolutely.
services.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I was actually just doing some of that competitive research and unique selling proposition work for myself. Actually, I had a document from one of my coaches that basically went through. Okay, well, what are your competitors? Who are your competitors, and what are they doing? What are the problems they're solving well, and what are they not solving well? And then one of the things that actually came up that I thought was really interesting is that the people, the businesses in my industry, like the marketing and web design world, doesn't have a good guarantee in most cases, actually. So like it's kind of like, you know, like I just do something for you whether you're happy with it or not. You just do it
Yeah.
whatever you want, you know. And so that was one of the biggest things that I noticed is like very few. There's like literally one company in Austin that I found in terms of web design that had a guarantee. And so it kind of just like blew my mind. I'm like, okay, well, I guess there's only one company. So that's something I'm focusing on heavily in figuring out, well, how can I create a guarantee that makes people feel comfortable with the work that I'm doing? Like, obviously, like I want to stand for my brand and I want to make sure that kind of what you touched on, Anil, is like implementation. A lot of time people are you know, failing on because they sign up a deal, a customer, and then all of a sudden they're just kind of not doing the thing that they promised potentially. And so that's something that I'm focusing on heavily. And I think it's a great point that you made, Anil.
And
So
the other thing that that I'm really focusing on, there is a model called as AIDA model for marketing. It's a marketing model. So so AIDA stands for attention, interest, desire, and action. It's kind of a sales funnel, it's normally like a sales funnel. So when you talk about attention, it's all about making the customer aware of your product and services using an eye-catching advertisement or any social media promotional that you do to create awareness. So that's what attention is all about. And then interest is the next phase where you're holding the customer in interest by providing information about the advantages of your product and services that will benefit the customers or that will add value to the customers. The next one is the desire. It's all about generating the customer desire and convincing them to buy your product and services that will meet their needs or solve their problems or give them more value through your products and services. And action is all about making it easy for the customers to make the purchase in a much more effective and an easy way.
yeah.
So overall process needs to be much more efficient and simple.
Yeah.
So it sounds very simple, these steps from the sales funnel, but when you actually dig into each of those areas, it's huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's important to take a step back, look at where you're standing, and then focus on areas that you really need to focus from a customer point of view.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think you made a really good point. I think the way I view it is the next step of that is to look into story brand. I like Donald Miller's idea a lot. I even have a note on my board over there. So it's like he starts with talk about your future, like or the client's future. Give them a glimpse of where they're gonna be after they use your product, and then the next section is kind of like, what are the problems? What are the pain points that people are dealing with? And so if you are able to hone in on that, like the stuff that you're talking about, Anil, that you're researching, I think like people is like, oh, wow, that's me. That's where I am. I have this problem. And then you come in and say, hey, I'm here to help you. As they say in StoryBrand, I'm the guide, right? And so we're going to help you solve the problem. And I've done it before, so I know what you're going through, kind of thing. And then finally, you're kind of getting into the areas where how are the ways that you're going to solve those problems? So that's like your services. And then finally, like just ask, hey, do you want to buy this thing?
I mean that's true, but
yeah.
I'm taking another step ahead of that. Is storyboard is important, but it's also important to understand who is your ideal customer, creating a persona of your customer, right? I mean, who are you trying to target in the first place? Creating a customer persona or an avatar is also very important. And then trying to build a storyboard so that it connects and build that connection between your avatar and your storyboard that makes sense. So like I've created a lot of avatars or personas for my client, ranging from different age groups and demographics, who would be my ideal customer. So that also gives me a lot of information as to, okay, these are the people that I'm going to target. And then trying to create a storyboard as to how can I help them solve the challenges and how can I help them elevate their business in the future. That's not only going to help my customers, at the same time build me as a brand ambassador for my products and services that I'm providing.
Yeah, that's great. All right, so I apologize, we went over this chat. So we'll close up here in a couple of minutes. Does anyone have any questions that they would like to ask, or any final points they want to share?
I mean, the sessions are going very good, Mo. I think 30 minutes is quite a short time. Like these discussions can get into, there'll be a lot of good points. See, now that we started discussion about marketing and we started talking about different thoughts, and so we're getting into the sync, we're getting into the rhythm of talking more about marketing. So 30 minutes, I think it's a short time to bring in that effectiveness within the discussions that we're doing. So probably we might want to look at extending the time if it is possible.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's one of the things that I was thinking about this last few days is, does it make more sense to maybe extend it to 1 hour, but have it every couple of weeks or something like that, so we're not taking a lot of time away from business? What are your thoughts, guys?
Well, I mean, I think it kind of depends. So like today was sort of a round table, right? Not really a teaching time. Versus when I talked about Shopify, basically I felt like I talked the entire time. There wasn't really any time for anything else. So I don't know if having an hour and trying to combine those two is the right way, or to have it kind of be one or the other and just alternate it. I personally like the half hour because I've got a lot of stuff to do today. And if it was a full hour, I wouldn't be able to commit to it every week for sure. And if it was every other week, I might forget.
Yeah. True.
So in a way, I kind of like this short, sweet check-in idea, but maybe, we alternate between we're really going to go deep on something, or it's just going to be like, I thought this roundtable was good. It was rushed. If it was 6 people, we would have been in trouble.
I would have had to cut it up somehow. So
before was all right.
yeah, I agree. All right, so we'll talk about that as we move forward, and then maybe for the next few we'll do the every week, and then the forward ones we'll try for like a few weeks to do every other week or something like that, see how that works out. But thank you so much everyone for joining. Tell your friends to join our group if you can. That would be amazing. And I hope everyone have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next week. Thank you.
Absolutely. See you. Bye-bye.